Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make really cute fake animal ears. I made mine bear ears. So what you're going to need is scissors. I have two types of scissors. A hairbrush of some kind. Then you want a wire headband. And you want some sort of fake fur and cardboard. You want to cut the cardboard in the shape of the ear. That's just going to be on the inside. And you want to cut out the fur so that it will cover the entire thing. So that's the finished ear. I'm going to be showing you how I made my other ear and attached them. So all I did was I started with a little circle because it's a half circle shape, and I'm just going to fold it in half and sew it so you don't see the seam. So when I start to sew, you want to be very careful to leave a big gap, well, a semi-big gap at the end, so that you don't sew it all the way shut without the cardboard, because this cardboard gives it stability. Now I'm just going to sew that, and it's not that hard, but you want to make sure that it's secure and you're sewing both of the parts together, or else it doesn't work. That ear that I'm sewing now is actually the second one I made, because the third one I made because the second one didn't turn out well and it broke. So you got to make sure to sew on both of the pieces of your fake fur. And now I'm just making sure that it's all there, it's all okay. You can pin it if you want, or you can hand sew. I'm just using a sewing machine because I don't like hand sewing because it's scary. But then you have your little half circle sewn. Then you want to turn it inside out, which won't be very hard unless you made the gap small. Then I'm just going to shove my cardboard insert in, and it's a little challenging, and you can see that my fake fur sheds a lot because I didn't buy it from a fabric store. It came with my old Halloween costume. Now I'm just going to shut that little gap closed, and you want to be careful. You can sew over the cardboard if you'd like, but try to make it so that it's not as revealing. Now I'm just going to finish sewing that up, which doesn't prove to be too difficult, but you want to make sure that it's all there. This is not very fun to voice over. Finally, I'm done. Took a while. Now I'm coming back to that. So I just cut off the little part where you could see the Sharpie, and you can't really see me do it, but I like using a brush to make it all nice. And whenever you sew the fur in, you should be able to pull it out again, but you want to be careful. And I like to cut my fur very short, so then you can get that more realistic texture, but also so that it's not ew and yucky and long. Because it was shedding all over me. I have a little pile of hair off screen, and I realize now that you could not see anything of what I was doing. But you want to make sure that you're using a brush that you don't normally use, or that you can easily clean, because then you just want to make sure. So what I was doing is I cut the little half circle cardboard in a little bit so it would go around the frame. Now I'm just cutting off little bits of it, which I will cut off more later. But I have tiny little sewing scissors, so I just decided that would be easier to use. And I would make your circle just a tad bit smaller than I did, because the cardboard just wiggles around in there. Now, I don't know how you'd make other animal ears, because that was my first time making them and I didn't know what I was doing. It's all for a theater project. Hooray. But anyways, I'm just cutting down a lot of the hair, which you want to make sure that you're not wearing a black shirt like I did. Now I'm ready to glue. I just used hot glue, and you want to be careful not to burn yourself, and don't leave it face down on the table, because then it'll burn something. But I just put a little bit to hold it there, and I put more hot glue over the wire frame, and I fold all the fur over it so that it's going to not be as noticeable, but also so that the fur just holds it on there. You don't want to throw away all your fake fur just yet after you trim it off, because you can use it to patch up the hot glue and make sure that it is not burning you. I burned myself many times. Be very careful. And then I like to go back and glue the very ends together back on because they weren't really secure. So I just went and secured it. And in the back part, where I cut off part of the seam that I didn't sew, I hot glued it and I folded fur on there. You don't have to use a ton of hot glue, and because then it doesn't dry fast, which I learned the hard way. Now there I am struggling to hot glue it on. You can do whatever you prefer. I just liked using a wired headband so you don't really see it and it will blend in with your hair. But, you don't have to do that. You can use whatever headband you want. And the duct tape's there because that's what I used to trace my circle. I probably could get it off screen, but I didn't because I'm like that. But all I'm doing is, you can't see it again, but I'm just securing it and making sure it's there. And that's me burning myself because I'm not safe. Now I decided to glue down the back part so you couldn't really see the seam or whatever. This is not the best tutorial, but I wanted to make it because it's fun. I will be posting more speed paints soon, and I realized that some of my comments aren't working, so it's fine. I hope the comments work again soon on a lot of my videos because that would be helpful. Now I'm just brushing it with a brush, which I could have just done with my fingers, but I didn't want to. And I don't recommend putting hot glue straight on the wire on the frame of the headband because it doesn't really work well and it just kind of falls apart, which I learned the hard way on the second one because I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to do a different way. Don't do the different way. Hot glue on the ear first, then stick it so you know how much hot glue you need. I have so much fake fur. You could just buy fake fur from a fabric store, which, because we're in quarantine, I don't think you would go about doing as of April 2020, but, could be open soon. I burned my hand a lot on this one. You don't see it because half the time it's off camera. But you want to make sure that you hold it, and if you're using hot glue gun, make sure that you're skilled at it and you won't burn yourself, because hot glue burns are not very fun. But I'm just going to struggle through. That's me realizing I could put the fur on it, and then I realized I don't have enough fur. If you don't have enough fur, that's why you save the fake fur so that you can put it on the hot glue later. And you can barely tell on the other ear that I already done. You can barely tell that I put it on. I thought maybe tweezers would help me, but it didn't. So now tweezers are there because they didn't help. Don't use tweezers unless you actually know how to use them. I am assuming that for like wolf ears or something, you do more of like a triangle shape, and then you'd like fold it a little bit. Or if you were doing rabbit ears, you would put like something so you could bend the ear more or something. I don't know what ears people are gonna do. I thought about making more, but no. And now you just gotta wait for it to dry, so don't be impatient. There. You can just stick fake fur on, but make sure that you wipe it all off and the hot glue's completely dry before you put it on your head, because you don't want to rip off part of your hair. I know what people are going to say. I'm not a furry, no. But EviChibi is, and this is kind of for her, so. She's making a fursuit, and I want to see it, but, anyway, I am just going to trim up those ears a ton so that it will be short fur. Because unless you are going to do a long-haired animal, which all I can think of is long-haired dogs, or wolves perhaps, then you don't want to really keep it long because then it's just in your way. Anyways, that is the end of my tutorial. Thank you for watching. Here is the final products right now, and goodbye.